Hey, happy Wine Wednesday.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher, everyone across the
Boucher.
country. Happy Wine Wednesday. Cheers. Cheers to
Yeah,
you, Mira.
cheers.
Cheers to everyone. There you go. There you go. And you know what? We're changing the tradition today because usually you have 5, 6, 7, 8 different wines in front of you. But this week, we're going bigger format. We're going a little larger, so we don't need that many glasses. I guess that's the concept. So I kept you on two, a white and a red, and we'll go from there. Woohoo! That's great to see everyone. Vicky, welcome. Great to see you. All of you Canadian wine lover from Vancouver Island all the way to Nova Scotia and across the Atlantic province. We're great to have you all. En français, un beau bonjour à tout le monde. Ça fait plaisir de vous avoir. C'est Wine Wednesday. C'est la happy hour. So, un beau bonjour à Pierre, à toute la gang du Québec, à Jean-Denis, à tous nos membres de la belle province, à tous les amateurs de vin francophones de toutes les régions canadiennes. On vous souhaite un bon mercredi. Aujourd'hui, on parle de wine in the box, un vin en boîte de 3 litres, mais du vin de top qualité. Si vous connaissez notre ami Richard Da Silva, les vins de Da Silva, les vins de Da Silva Vineyard and Winery, ce sont des meilleurs, des plus reconnus au pays. Maintenant, disponibles en boîte de 3 litres. Ben non, je vous niaise pas. 100% BC Grown. Je veux dire, c'est quelque chose de fantastique. Donc, on est dans une nouvelle ère des vins de top qualité maintenant offerts en boîte de 3 litres. Puis ça, c'est exclusif. Il n'y a pas personne d'autre ailleurs qui ont ça. C'est pour nous autres, pour les membres du Carl's Wine Club. Here you go. In French, what do you think about that, Mira Boucher? Hey, why not?
Very sexy. I like it. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, there you go. There you go. An exciting, very, very exciting Wednesday. There's so much to talk about. Yes, we're going to talk about premium wine in the box. There's so much to unfold. There's so much to talk about. There's so many exciting things about that. I know you've been pushing that narrative for a very long time, and now it's happening. So, how do you feel about the wine in the box, Mira?
It's pretty cool. You know, I like bottles. I think they kind of like elevate a whole experience, but I had an amazing wine in box and now I'm sold. Like, yeah. Every one of these three that we've tasted this week, we're so blown away by. Richard Da Silva has done such a great job. So we can't wait to have him on. He's in the green room. He's going to come in a minute to tell us a little more about what he's done here.
Yeah, because we did it. Yeah. I had the chance to walk to the production facility with the barrel rooms and the tank and all that, and we're picking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and why not if we add a little bit of that vintage and that one. So it's a ton of fun to come up with what's in the box now. But I mean, when you have an outstanding producer making such fantastic premium wine, and now we can translate that and get this into format where it's convenient for party, convenient for summer, convenient for everything. This is a game changer. This is a game changer. This rosé in the box, everyone should have a darn box of that in their fridge for the summer. First and foremost, the Corda Rosa. It's one of my top 3 rosés of the year last year, across hundreds of rosés that we've tasted. And this juice goes in the box that we can keep it for 6 weeks. Come on, bring it on, buddy. This is just too good. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the winery, the Members' Choice Award, Winery of the Year, BC and Ontario, because we just did a quick clip we revealed. So we're gonna tell you all across the country who was selected for Ontario and BC Winery of the Year. And how cannot talk about Chardonnay. We're a couple days away from the craziest darn thing that I've ever done in terms of wine, obviously. Um, so it's happening very soon. Saturday, it's going to be one of the greatest day of my life. So
Yeah, look at this.
there you go.
And now
There
you
you go.
crossed out that number. It's not 60 plus. It's not 70 plus. It
We're
might be
getting
like
closer to 80.
80 plus.
I
Closer to
mean,
80.
it's just
Crazy.
insane. It just doesn't stop. Like it was kind of a farce. It was a joke today, uh, where courier company were lining up to knock at the door one after another with boxes and boxes and all filled with Chardonnay. I mean, it's going to be incredible because not only we have a large quantity, but every major player on the Chardonnay scene in the country have supplied some samples for that tasting. So it's absolutely incredible. I can't wait. I'm going to be on the road for 2 days just for BC, just for the Okanagan to go pick up samples. So anyway,
Crazy.
should what do we want to talk about? Should we bring the man?
We should bring him on. We should bring it on.
Do we? Why not?
Do it. Yeah, Richard Da Silva. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Rick, how's it going, buddy?
Thank you, guys. Great to be here. Very good. I'm going to explain the little logo you see behind me here. The Giro d'Italia is on last week. As many of you may know me, I'm a big cycling fan. So the Giro d'Italia is on. So I'm a cycling nerd. So that's what's behind me right now. Just for those who are wondering what's my background.
Nice.
So, but yeah, here,
that's awesome.
Way to represent.
I was wondering. I was like, is it a fundraiser? Is it something?
Oh, the
Awesome.
Giro d'Italia
Is
on,
that?
and my-
Have you
and
ever
my
been?
favorite cyclist is-
Have you
No,
ever
I've
been to
not.
that
No,
one?
that's on my bucket list. I've never been to the Giro d'Italia. It's on our bucket list, that and Strada Bianca and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a passion of mine. I've been into cycling for many, many years. And yeah, so anyway, that's what that is. Just to explain what that is. So it's
Cool.
it's
I
my
love it.
homage to the Grand Tour.
Wow.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, guys.
It's exciting, Richard. It's very exciting. But thanks for explaining it because it was my first. It would have been my first question. I mean, I didn't have a clue what was it. So thank you for explaining. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful rainy Wednesday here in the Okanagan. It's great to have you with us. And I mean, not a whole lot of people like if I told our members or wine lovers a couple months ago that you and me are going to be sitting in front of the camera talking about boxed wine, I don't think that a lot of people will have believe it. And then a whole lot of people will have, well, people will ask, what's going on here, guys? But you've been working on that project for a while, and I'm thrilled to be on with you and being able to feature that because featuring premium wine in a box, it's something who's not been done in BC so far, and years we are. So tell us more about that, Richard.
Yeah, I've always been a big believer of tradition, and I'm also I love a good glass as well. But the discussion has been percolating, and especially kicking into high gear in 2019 to 20. And it was a casual comment I had was we were having some dinner with some friends and Anthony Gismondi and a couple of the folks from Wine and Wine, and the comment came out about this particular format. And we've been contemplating it, but there was no precedence for it. Most people consider box wine in that format in the very basement price. It's usually, let's be honest, a lot of it's garbage. There's a couple of guys that have been starting to do some good, some definitely better quality stuff now. But in the premium side of things, it's really there's no precedence for it. So it was percolating, but after discussion with Gismondi, and I don't remember who else was there. Larson, I believe it was, from also Ontario. They were having dinner at the restaurant, at the winery, and they said, "Yeah, well, why hasn't somebody done that?" And I said, why indeed? And so the end of the day, I think speaking to some of our, we did some polling to some of our own members at the winery, and the comment was people would love that format. People would go on vacation. We have a number of our own club members that'll take them out of the box, put them in their luggage, and when they go to Mexico, they have at least something, or the Dominican, they at least have a great wine to enjoy while they're on vacation. And so that's part of the discussion. So yeah, it is unconventional. I think there was some hesitation, certainly from my part and Twyla, as far as making this format happen. But the minute it hit the shelf, a lot of young professionals in our area, real estate agents and others who are not into drinking a full bottle, but want to enjoy a premium wine in a convenient packaging, were the first to jump on board. And then I remember when we first launched it at the local BC Info Center here, they ordered the first reorder within a week of launching that, which is, there's nothing in that price category in box wine, and they were hesitant, and then after that they've just been fully behind it. So yeah, that's the history behind it. The inspiration for the wine is going to be really the Bronco, the Team, the Cor de Rosa. They're the same wine. Sometimes I will for example, the rosé will have the Cor de Rosa, and we will play with it a little bit. I love doing that and just seeing just some blending. We had a 22 with a little bit of 23, and it was kind of like it was just kind of like there's no kind of restraints on that. Whereas when I put in the bottle, that's it, and it's done one time. This is because we do it in small batches, allows me to kind of like slowly tweak it if I want. And yeah, it's been interesting from the creative side of things. But the wine is, to be very clear with your guests, is that it's the Vino Blanco, Cor de Rosa, and the Vino Tinto. That is the base of these wines. And so I see Vicky's asking a question about the bladder. The bladder we use is from A.O. Wilson's from Germany. It's made specifically for wine. I don't know what other producers are using for their bladders, but we've had a couple of test runs of this product now for a while. Some members remember we first got it. We launched a small batch of it in 22, I think it was, and it was really small to a few select people, and then we got distracted with COVID and all the other stuff and kind of got shelved. So to answer your guest, Vicky, on that, we have never seen any sensory impact whatsoever from the bladder on the wine. And so there is, I believe there's probably different qualities of bladders, I'm sure, but hopefully
and Richard, yeah, I think you answered the question, and let me jump on it because we have the privilege to work together and on that, and do a little bit of a blending in here and there. But I've tasted the red in the box, who was maybe boxed for a couple weeks already, and that's absolutely, the wine is clean, the wine is pure, and the wine is approachable. And I think in terms of winemaking, I know your approach. You wanted the wine as authentic as possible. And when we're chatting, I'm like, you know what? The being approachable to me was something that we talk back and forth, you and me. And I think when people will purchase a box of wine, I was expecting something approachable, and that's what we work together, and that's what these wines are. Tinto, approachable. Bronco, approachable. Rosa, approachable. So now you get that in your fridge. It is ready to go. There's no, we need to age that for a year. It is ready to go. And I mean, is it 4 weeks? Is it something that I can say safely that the wine can be preserved for 3-4 weeks easily?
Yeah, so the process of doing it, of making this, is very specific. It's done in a vacuum. So the bag is completely vacuumed, and then it's the wine's put into the bag, and then it's topped off with argon. And so the thing, the interaction with air doesn't exist in this product. And I have had personally, we've tested this myself. We had up to 8 weeks actually. Now nobody's going to be
there you go.
wine in the bag for 8 weeks, but I mean, the key is I think there's not all people are looking for a cerebral wine every night. I mean, I would love to have a Nobrisa from myself or a Sassicaia, every day. But that's just not reality. Sometimes you just want a great crafted wine that is authentic of a place, that's not watered down, and that it's not meant to really age that much. Yeah,
and when you met, I think a sense of place, and I love to look at the box, and your box is like, yes, proudly made of 100% BC grown grape. I mean, this is not a international blend. This is not osh of everything you can get your hands on. This is not the purpose of that. This is the Silva story. This is the Silva story with the map of the vineyards with your name on and your family tradition in the box. I mean, this is very, very different.
Well, if you turn the box on its side, you'll see a picture of my family on there. There's a picture of my grandfather. That was taken in Naramata in the late 50s. Yeah, there he is right there with my uncle Jose Avila, my aunt, my cousin John Borba in there. And that photo was taken in the farm just down the road from where I am right now. And like the box says, it's gonna. I think that for me, it's the format will take some time for people to understand that yes, you can, just because there is no precedence for a premium wine product in a box format. And as much as all of us, like I said earlier, want to have a Grand Cru every night, I can't afford that myself, but I still want to drink something that's awesome, that's friendly. I don't have to sit there and age it for this wine is not meant to age, like obviously for a year or two. It's meant to have it, consume it in the next 12 months, and it's convenient. I have so many guests since we first launched the small batch that were on vacation, going to ski, bunch of like wine club members of ours that were going on ski vacations. They would buy up a ton of this. I got friends that have boats here. They do sailing. It's not breakable. It's great. It's going to be done by the end of the weekend, and it just makes sense. And I think most people
you don't have to look for the corkscrew. You don't have to look for the corkscrew all over the place. It's just, that this is just amazing in terms of how convenient it is. And I mean, it's what, 3 liters. So we're talking 4 bottles of wine. So it's a decent amount of wine, and it brings the price down. We did the math. It brings the price down to under $25 per bottle on average between these 3 boxes. And when I'm talking to BC or Canadian wine lovers, they say, Carl, I can't find a good value wine under $25 anymore. Boom.
Not a Bordeaux.
There you go.
I mean, it has some cab in it. It's predominantly Merlot and Malbec, just a bit of Cab Sauv, a little bit of Cab Franc in it. And yeah, I mean, it's impossible. But there is efficiency in that packaging format. I dare say, that price may increase in the future, the next year or so, maybe, because it is the same wine. And so, literally, it's going through the same barrel program. It's going through it's coming from the same vineyard, the same vinification. It's just in a different format. Just simply as that. One of the things that we're contemplating is to really see how this is going to, how the market's going to take to this, because if what we're seeing so far is panning out, be careful what we wish for. I mean, for me, it's
yeah, exactly, right.
now I will caveat something though. So one of the things that most people, when they first saw this format, were like, "Oh, great! We open a bottle of wine. We don't want to have to crush the bottle in a day or two," because a lot of people know that the minute you take the cork, you take a capsule, the clock is ticking. That's not the case with this product. But I did have some of our own members the other day say, conversely, on the other side, though, that the wine disappears very quickly in this format. So I had a friend of mine, they were watching the hockey. They wanted some great wine, so they opened the box, and the four guys there crushed the whole box. I think 5 of the guys were in the place, and they crushed the whole box, and they would just disappear. So it's great for me, of course, but I was like, yeah. But a lot of folks that I knew that just are on the other side, they're drinking less, allows them to have a wine. It'll last a couple weeks or longer, and they don't have to then worry about the wine going bad in the bottle. I think that's been a huge a bit of knowledge for me, how many people love that convenience of not having to opening a quality wine, but not having a stopwatch on. Like now they have to worry about how they're going to store it, how they're going to keep it. Not everybody wants to drink a full bottle at night. You just want to have a glass of great wine that's approachable, friendly, not going to kill the bank, but not have to worry about drinking the rest of it.
But with complexity. Like, I mean, this wine, like I'm in the red right now. The wine has layers. The wine has tannin. The wine has finish. The wine has a bright structure. So, I mean, this is not a loose, just like quenchable wine. No, this has everything to go with a serious meal. And this has everything for a wine geek to say, whoa, this is pretty darn freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Vino Tinto. So I mean, like, to me, if you buy a bottle of our Tinto or this, it's the same product. It's the same, from the same vineyard, the same batch. It was made the same way. It's the same wine, and so it should have those same characteristics. Obviously, there is, as I'm a stickler for detail. We'll usually add an extra 5 parts per million of sulfur just to have it last longer in that format, and that's very negligible. So we're talking magnitudes less than what you'd have in your trail mix for sulfur. So we're talking a 5 ppm difference, just because I always want to make sure that that wine is going to be fully safe for at least a year. We've had those who come back on the reds, come back. That we've not come back. They actually have found in the back of our cellar, and it's probably from 22, and we opened up about a month ago, and it was just like the wine was fabulous, and I was like, wow, that was an eye opener for me. But to be realistic, most people aren't going to be keeping this wine for longer than a couple of months, and that's exactly why we put in this format: convenience, premium wine. That's it ticks the boxes, and the price point that reflects the efficiencies of not having glass, cork, capsule, label, I mean, it's so far it's
and space-wise, Richard, space-wise. When you look at that, this is 4 bottles of wine. I mean, it's you can slide that in the side of your fridge. And I mean, this is like, in terms of convenience of space, this is really darn freaking fantastic. So that's where we're excited to be featuring this week. And wow, thanks for partnering up with us, because it's really, really, really exciting. And I know that there's already some sizable orders already on, so we're pretty excited to move forward with that.
I think that proof is in this case in the box. Every single time we've sampled this wine at the tasting room, people have just, their jaw has dropped because there's just the expectation of that format and what they tasted just didn't connect. And I think, yeah, I'm excited to see what your guests and members will say about this format, because I'm pretty certain it'll be well received. That's for sure. So
yeah, it's a go.
I cannot believe this
Cheers.
wine in my glass tonight. This is phenomenal.
And it's really, like I said, it's true.
Yeah, the red is, I think the one that's most striking to me right now is the rosé. We did a blind tasting in the at the restaurant this afternoon with Chef Aboul and the team members at the restaurant. Between the Coeur de Rosa bottle and the rosé from the box, and they preferred the box rosé for some reason. It was bizarre, and I was just like, and when I pulled out that, they were just like their jaws just dropped, and I said, well, yeah, and it's yeah, there you go, and it goes to show you that preconceived notion is, and we're hoping to break that barrier down. I know that I'll put a glass out to Mr. Anthony Gismondi out there. He was the impetus for us for me to take the leap, and I'll blame it all on him. So if you're out there,
here you go. Oh, I mean, and like in terms of Gismondi's scores and rating, I mean, I rated these three wines side by side. I'm like, this is a 91 points to me. And I look with the with the Tinto, and I look at that. This is approachable. There's everything. So the price, when I bring the price in the equation, I got 91 points for the red, 90 points for the white, and 90 plus for the rosé. So I mean, you don't see 90 points plus for wine in the box, but we got the premium here, and it's freaking fantastic.
What I would like to do is for your members that do grab this, I would love feedback. I really want to get that feedback. So I'm going to encourage guys to reach out, because this is really breaking ground. Like really, the gap is between, let's say, a box is $40 to this price point is a massive gap. There is no one in there in that category, but the proof has been when people have tasted it, they go like, wow, and they just saved $5 a bottle.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's exactly it. It's $5 off a bottle, and now we're offering free shipping with that this week. I mean, this is freaking.
Okay.
This,
guys, your math is off. It's a better deal than that. Maybe Richard should go off screen for a second. Better deal than that. I mean, do your math. But if it's 4 bottles in a box, and the box is $90,
I don't want to do the math.
And the usual bottle is 32.
I was so we were doing the math this afternoon in the tasting room, and I had to walk away. I was like, oh no, but it's great for the guests. But I think, I want to see the feedback. I'm really excited to hear what your members have to say about this. We know that from a lot of locals, lots of great people that are, especially professionals that aren't going to want to crush a whole bottle at the end of the night. They have loved this format, and I'm hoping I'm going to surpass people's expectation this format. So maybe we'll start something new. I'm the guy who stood out on the limb on this and put my name on it. So let's hope it works for everyone.
You know what? In terms of, I knew for a fact, I know you for long enough to know that the wines in the box is fantastic. I knew the juice would be great. What surpassed my expectation is the length of time where you can preserve that product at 100% quality. That's what surpassed my expectation. I didn't expect that much, and that to me is the kicker of the whole thing. So, yeah.
Oh, it's a simple physics, right? Because as the bag drains, air isn't being let back into the bag. So it's a complete vacuum. As the bag drains, you're not getting, every time you pop a cork or a screw cap off a bottle, there's interaction with the atmosphere that you're in. And this doesn't happen in a bag of box. It's completely sealed. It's one way only. And that's why it lasts that way. There's no oxygen ingress other than for those wine nerds out there, there's a slight bit of OTR. We call it oxygen transfer rate between the bladder and the wine. But anyway, that's very tiny compared to you opening a cork every time. So it's a lot of stuff there for you guys to digest. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for taking the leap on a first for you guys, and let's see how everybody perceives it.
Perfect. Okay, now let's switch gear. I want to keep you on for another 5 minutes because in less than a month, Richard, we're going to be gathering here the world of Canadian wines all together, and we're hosting our Pan Canadian Masterclass 2.0 at Esther Creek. And you've been you were the first traveler to join us last year. You traveled with us to the first edition to Niagara. And now, obviously, you're going to be part of the panel. One of your wines is going to be featured this year again. The new edition, the new vintage of the Chenin Blanc will be poured to our 90 guests at Esther Creek. What's that mean to you to be part of that again this year?
It's fantastic. I think for me, it's an honor to be there with a bunch of my counterparts across the country to showcase what we all love to do. It brings us together. I think it brings our customers together, and I think the being part of that is being part of something special. It's kind of, this should have been done years ago, in my opinion, to reach across the country in this way. And I hope that this is going to continue to grow. You know what? I have to be honest. Like I've met some. I didn't expect not to meet awesome people from across the country, but what I was surprised about was the hospitality, the openness, the friendliness, and just the passion that I saw across the country. And for me, a big eye opener for me was just just the wines and the stories that you can connect with from across the country was something that I could relate to. And so for me, it's an honor to be there. I think it's going to be fantastic. If people haven't joined yet, the great thing is a little bit of the ad hoc discussions that go on. It gets a little gets sideways a little bit, and we're gonna.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I just it's just amazing that these kind of world-class wines are being produced in our own backyard. And yet, a lot of us are not aware of it. BC is not aware of what's going on in Ontario or in Nova Scotia, and vice versa. What's going on out here, and we need to change that dialogue. We are making wines of great, great caliber, and I think these events help us tell that story together. And so, yeah, I'm great. I'm very, very, like I said, super excited to be part of it. And I think seeing those guys, now that I've gotten to know them, they're fantastic characters. I mean, Lou and,
and Brian Schmidt and Elias and Elia and Marcel and all.
Marcel is a character, and Elias.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite picture of last year. The previous one, Mira. I'll get back to that one. It's that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
And producing amazing wines, and I think making them approachable. They're collectible. They're sellerable wines, but by people that you can relate to, you can connect with, you can talk to, without kind of that, sometimes, I don't know, just kind of the airs you get from some of these wines from around the world. Not always the case. I've met some great cult guys from California that are down to earth guys, and from France as well. But it's happening here. That's the cool thing. You can actually drive and come and see me. I might put you to work because I'm replanting a bunch of my vineyards, but it's there's a lot going on in our own country that we should be really proud of, and I think these events showcase that. So I'm very glad, and again, I'm excited to be part of this this initiative, and count me in, man. I love those guys and ladies. We need to get some ladies on there. We got to get. Oh, we got
Yeah,
Sue-Ann
no,
coming
we
this year.
do. We do. Sue-Ann staff. Sue-Ann is coming.
Yeah, I mean, a couple hundred years of farming history in
Yeah, she's
Ontario.
flying in from Ontario.
Pioneers out there. She's amazing. Great personality. Love her to bits. I didn't have a chance to talk to her last time. I was out there a couple of months ago. As much as I wish, I think Mr. Speck took most of my time up. Dan, thanks for that. But I mean, it was amazing to see these people. And I yeah, Elias, great guy, super passionate. Again, you know, yeah, hopefully we'll get Miss Anne Sperling out here one day too. That'd be fantastic. She's got tons of good stories, and she's a great character too. So
They're going to Croatia right now. So they're taking some vacation. They're flying out to Croatia. So I guess we're gonna catch her. And I'm still trying to. There you go. That's the lady. That's the legend of Sue-Ann staff. I just got the Riesling 2019 Roberts Block arriving here. So the wines are starting to stock up here for the Pan Canadian. People are start booking their other tasting. But Richard, we're planning to bring the crew, all of these guys, to visit you on the Sunday. We're hoping to bring them to you so you can show them your estate as well. So it's going to be fun.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks so much, and thank you for having me part of that. And look forward to it, and looking forward to the Chardonnay craziness too. So we'll see how that.
We'll see you on Saturday night. I have to swing by because I've heard through the grapevines, that we're gonna taste the 2022 Legado Chardonnay from a tank sample. That's what I've heard. So I'm pretty darn excited for that. And so yeah, we're gonna start. Richard, it's been crazy. I've never thought that many people will reply to our request. I'm up to 80 Chardonnays now. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to do that myself. But yeah, we're glad to host you. It'll be fun to have you and the crew over after to taste all of these wines together after the live.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. And hi, Mike. Great seeing you a month or so ago, and say hi to a couple of your guests on there. Yeah, no, it's gonna be fantastic. Hope to see that your members out there too, Mike and Vicky and Daryl and all the crew from back east. And yeah, I mean, this panel that you're showing here is just amazing personalities. Mark Hopley is a great friend of mine from out here, and Rob, Daniel. I mean, so many great people in there, and John. So we're yeah. Is that Brian Schmidt with looking all gangster in the background or something?
I know, hey, I know. He sure does.
There's also Jean Benoit, all the way from Nova Scotia.
Yeah, the French winemaker. Yeah, the green took on it is the Québécois.
Love it. Well, we're meeting my friend from across the country. That's a huge trip that he's making a commitment to come all the way out here from Nova Scotia. If you ever do one in Nova Scotia, let me know. I'd love to go out there. I'll do a road trip out there any day. And
me too. I eat lobster and oysters.
Thank you very much, Richard.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers, and thank you, everyone, for the support. Ciao.
Thanks, Richard. We'll see you. We'll chat later this week. Thank you. There you go.
Awesome.
Wine in the box, premium wine in the box. That's the Silva project. I mean, the Silva family, the vineyard map, the grape juice of Da Silva, Merlot, Malbec with a little splash of Cap Franc and Cap Sauv. This is bold. This is juicy. It's approachable. It's complex. There's layers. There's tannin. There's finish. Something that you don't expect from wine in the box, and you freaking got it. And the best part, you can have that for 6 weeks. Not that we think that any of our members will keep that for 6 weeks, but
yeah, it'll be gone faster than that. It's that good.
It's that good. I see our friend Marcel Morgenstern is tuning in here after a long trip in Europe. He's back. He's back. It's great to have you on, Marcel. I can't wait to see you. It's coming soon, less than a month. So we're going to connect in the next couple of days, my friend. Can't wait. There's so much to be grateful for because it's happening very, very soon. What was that, Mira?
Oh, just a joke. It was my Wine Wednesday joke. You know. Ha 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 ha. I think we're all pretty tired around here. It's been a heck of a week.
I thought you were going to bring something about wine in a box, but no.
I know. I didn't find a good one on wine in a box. I should have found something. Yeah. So we'll work on that.
Word document. That's my kind of Word document. Yeah, that's for sure. Now it's always great. I love having Richard talking about that because, like he said, right, listening to some of the top guys from the industry, like he mentioned, like David Lawson and John Zabo and Anthony Gismondi, the guys having dinner together and saying, "Look, we need someone who's going to at least at some point put some top wine in boxes." And there we go. Richard is taking the lead. He had done one little small run for local people. Now, Carl's Wine Club members, we are the first to do that across the country. So it's pretty exciting. We're grateful. Thanks, Richard, for the opportunity. But these wines are freaking good. They're freaking awesome. 91 points for the red, 90 plus points for the rosé, 90 points for the white. All approachable, not over geeky, but ready to drink, to be consumed, and just to have fun with it. 4 bottles in a box, and it just brings the price to it. Now outstanding value proposition. It travels well. It takes
so between 23 and 25 bucks all in tax. If you get 3 or more, it's free shipping. If not, it's flat rate shipping. If you get like 1 or 2, it really kind of blends right in with that price range. So we often hear from members, guys, I want to have some bottles around in my cellar that are 30 bucks and under, all taxes, shipping in, that you can have with a Tuesday night meal. You can have with a couple friends at a barbecue. And so this is perfect. It's even way less than 30. And like Richard said, what I'm drinking here, this is essentially his Vino Tinto, which is $32 plus tax. And we're getting it for $25, including tax. So very good value. Yeah, if you get 3 bottles, you get the free shipping, or it's flat rate.
This is outstanding. This is outstanding. I'm thrilled. Hope is going to run out. I want to sell him out. I want every Carl's Wine Club members to have some of that at home. And it's ballsy. I'm proud of him. The wine is great. The wines are great, and let's push that. I love it. Mira, we just announced
wineries of the year. So
Thomas Batchelder,
Ontario, following in the footsteps of alumni, Bellaterra Vineyards was our first Members' Choice Winery of the Year. And last year it was Sue-Ann Staff Estate Winery. So now Batchelder. I mean, these are epic wineries and amazing people. And for BC,
Riverstone Estate Winery in Oliver. So after Black Market Wine Company for the first year, last year was Richard Da Silva and Da Silva Vineyards and Winery, and now Ted Kane and in the Riverstone. There is a beautiful picture of our very first members reunion at Black Market when the Bellaterra team has decided to come to be part of the Black Market Carl's Wine Club members reunion. And we have Fred DiProprio, winemaker at Bellaterra, holding a black market Cabernet Franc, and Rob Hammersley, owner winemaker at Black Market, holding a Bellaterra Cabernet Franc at Black Market in Caledon. So, I mean, this was one of the greatest experiences. That was last year, our vineyard tasting that we've done with fresh grape side by side with the wine that they've become. And in the vineyard, it was another incredible experience. The party at the pond at Bellaterra was one of the greatest moments of my wine career. We had so much fun. Mira is manning the sabering station, the giant tractors, the harvesters that Joe Pilateri at Lakeview Equipment Vineyard brought to the vineyard. The whole thing. I mean, these are memories. These are incredible moments that we have with our members and our wineries. So yeah, there is the third iteration of the Members' Choice Carl's Wine Club Winery of the Year, Batchelder Wines and Riverstone. So congratulations to Thomas and Mary and to Ted Kane and his team.
Woohoo!
Woo!
All right. More to come. More to come. You might see us live again in the next few days because there's still a few spots left with the Pan-Canadian Masterclass. And we have just announced a schwack of other events around that weekend because we have amazing people coming to town from all over Canada. We want to make sure they have an amazing Okanagan time down here. So we have planned, 6 other events around the main event?
Yeah. I think it kind of makes sense. I kind of lost track, but yeah, it will be a whole schwack of events.
There's a rosé vertical again. If you missed the first ever historic rosé vertical we had last summer, it was outstandingly amazing with this guy, Daniel Bontarin, who will be at the masterclass, the rosé master. We're going to do it again with his Cab Franc rosés going back to 2015.
You got that right. You got that right. Yeah, we're going to do a
barbecue.
We're going to do. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're also going to do some tailgating in the Similkameen. We're going to have the welcome reception at Mythology Vineyard, a nice pizza party on the Thursday night where our members can come and meet all of the traveling winemakers, spend some little bit more of an intimate time and something small. You bring a bottle of wine from your cellar. We can share a bunch of different things. It's going to be really, really, really interesting. The Friday, we're going to have that rosé vertical, the tailgating. We'll have the privilege to host all of our guests at home for a barbecue with some members of the industry, also for retail and distribution for our traveling winemakers so they can meet potential buyers. So we're going to do that at our home. The Saturday, it's the Pan-Canadian. After the Pan-Canadian, there's going to be some seats open for dinner at the Terrafina restaurant, the Hester Creek restaurant. Top-notch establishment. I can't wait to have dinner. The traveling winemakers and all the winemakers are going to be joining us there. On the Sunday, for people who stick around, I would love to do a nice Naramata Bench tour, starting with the Da Silva Vineyard and a nice experience with Richard, or might swing by a couple of other favorites on the bench. So there's a lot of different stuff that we're going to do. Can't wait to connect with everybody who are going to be joining us for the Pan-Canadian Masterclass, the second edition, hosted at Hester Creek Winery in Oliver. Our partner at Hester Creek have been doing a great job. Roger Gillespie and his team, Mark Sheridan, and obviously the winemaker, Mark Hopley, the guy who makes the Judge, which is one of the most known Meritage blend here in the Okanagan, from the Golden Mile, that classic that every year is super highly rated. My rating was 94 points. I tasted that wine a couple weeks ago. Rich, sexy, suave, like juicy but complex and layered. Like I love that wine a lot. So yeah, one of the classic of the Okanagan. So, whew.
Woo!
Yeah, what a day. What a day. So yeah, I spent most of my day recording interviews with Chardonnay winemakers from across the country. Lots of people are busy this weekend. Won't be able to join us live during the show. So I did some pre-recorded interview. But yeah, like we spoke with Richard, our Chardonnay marathon has taken a level of ridiculous amplitude that I've never expected. When I started a couple years ago with my big dream of tasting 40 Chardonnays side by side, it's now a double. So
a big thanks to new member Jay, who's here in Summerland, who has donated 3 huge 100-bottle racks to the cause, so that we can store some of these bottles.
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for donating these racks, because without that, I would have bottles everywhere. Courier companies are lining up at the door every day right now to drop off more and more samples from everywhere. But when we're talking about big names, okay, I don't have my list here. I'm probably going to forget some, but when we're talking big Chardonnay name across the country, Thomas Batchelder, Cloudsley Vineyard, Domaine Calus. Okay, I need my list. Leaning Post, Bellaterra, Dobbin Estate, Stonebridge, Lely, Kirby Estate. I mean, there's countless, but okay, this from Ontario. In BC.
So here's what we'll do. We'll post all the pictures as we catalog them. You'll see a lot of them. So follow the event on Facebook, and then you'll see exactly which ones we're going to have open.
Yeah, Spearhead, Blue Mountain Vineyards, Myers, O'Rourke Family Estate, who just won a Chardonnay du Monde as well. Da Silva Vineyard, Moraine. I mean, like it's like it. Yeah, I can name some, and some of them yeah, there are 2 or 3 different, but like it's crazy. So I don't know how we're gonna do that, but I can't wait. Saturday, starting at 3 o'clock Pacific. It's gonna be a epic day on Saturday. That is for sure. It's on the aftermath of the World Chardonnay Day and International Chardonnay Day. So we're gonna do our own Carl's Wine Club Chardonnay Marathon homage at Canadian Chardonnay. So it's going to be really cool.
Absolutely. Cheers, guys. Have a great Wine Wednesday. We'll see you again real soon.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, thank you, and see you next time.